Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know that they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. Jaguar Wright is speaking up once again, and this time she's coming with proof. I know Kim had some very good advice to give you, and I believe that this is why things are happening following the recent lawsuit and almost instant settlement between Cassie and Diddy. A ton of hip-hop's most iconic record label secrets are being revealed and refreshed, and Jaguar sure has a lot to say. The lawsuit that started it all on the 16th of November, singer Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against her former boyfriend, hip-hop mogul Diddy Combs. In the court documents, Cassie cited physical violence, sexual assault, trafficking, and emotional abuse, and the internet went up in flames as more details were revealed. After enduring years of silence and darkness, I am finally prepared to share my narrative and advocate not only for myself, but also for the countless women grappling with violence and abuse in their relationships, Cassie expressed in a release statement. With the imminent expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act, the realization dawned upon me that this was a crucial opportunity to shed on the trauma I endured, a trauma that will be a part of my recovery for the rest of my life. Addressing the allegations on behalf of Diddy, his attorney Ben Brofman issued a statement denying the accusations. Over the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has faced persistent demands from M. Ventura seeking $30 million under the threat of publishing a damaging book about their relationship. This demand was unequivocally rejected as outright blackmail, stated Brofman. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Mrs. Ventura has now opted to file a lawsuit filled with unfounded and outrageous falsehoods aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking financial gain. And of course, this didn't sit well with fans, as Cassie's statement clearly stated that the alleged abuse commenced when she entered a professional and sexual relationship with Diddy at the age of 19 while he was 37, and that age gap in itself is problematic enough, as it clearly indicates that the young singer was groomed. But Cassie explained further how after signing her to Bad Boy Records, Diddy led her into a lavish, high-paced, drug-fueled lifestyle. According to court documents, Cassie alleged that Diddy robbed her in her own home after attempting to leave him. She further claims he physically assaulted her, causing bruises, burst lips, a black eye, and bleeding. The lawsuit also accuses Diddy of destructive behavior, such as blowing up a man's car out of jealousy and forcing Cassie into engaging in explicit acts with male sex workers while he recorded the encounters. While millions of people immediately rose in support of the actress, there were a few who wondered why she was just speaking out, and Cassie had her answers in the court documents as she explained that the harm she endured at the hands of Diddy will forever haunt her. She mentioned that she has required extensive medical and psychological care to recover from the trauma, and instead of choosing to suffer in silence, she cannot continue to live like that. According to her lawyer Douglas Wigdor, no human should have to endure what Mrs. Ventura has endured. Her courage to speak up against the abuse she suffered, seeking accountability for her abuser and those who enabled the abuse, is a testament to her strength and resilience. We are privileged to represent this courageous victim in her pursuit of justice. However, the pursuit, it didn't last very long. Just a day later, the two reached an out-of-court settlement. According to the New York Times, in an exclusive report by the Associated Press, the settlement, announced in a release sent by Cassie's attorney Douglas Wigdor, is a deal that brings both parties mutual satisfaction. Cassie and Diddy both issued statements. I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. Cassie said. Diddy, who hours earlier had denied Cassie's claims, also said the resolution was amicable and that he wished Cassie and her family all the best, but the deed was done. People were reminded that Diddy was anything but brother love, and according to a Facebook user, this just scratched the surface. Jaguar Wright has been trashed for speaking on him for years. They will definitely pass her the mic now, and Jaguar was definitely ready to grab the mic and speak on it. Like most people, Jaguar immediately drew the connection between Kim Porter's life and time with Diddy and Cassie's experience, as fans began to look back at the time's several public details. started making sense alongside the timeline indicated in Cassie's filing, like this video of Cassie, curled up on the floor under a blanket, while Diddy taunts her, "What you got to say now? You ain't got to say yay." There was also an old selfie of Cassie that recently resurfaced showing her with a busted lip and trauma. To her head, the picture was taken back in 2014, while Cassie and Diddy were on a trip to Dubai back then. Blogs reported she had an accident while riding in a TV, but that didn't look like a face that had an automobile accident, and Jaguar confirmed that Cassie was heavily under Diddy's control back then. That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people pitched he does all kinds of. And he's a piece of Cassie finally found a way out of the relationship. And even though it was very weird, Jaguar understands how important getting away from Diddy was for Cassie's life after all the founding members of Uptown Records and Diddy's friends at the time were all gone. Uptown Records started with 5 music people: Andre Harrell, Albee, Shore, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee cause she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and All almost died. Ain't that interesting? And this just reminded a lot of people that Cassie's story is scarily similar to what happened to Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who died under mysterious circumstances in 2018. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know that. They have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. What happened to Kim Porter? Kim met Diddy in the early 1990s while he was an A&M executive at Uptown Records. The first time I saw her, she was at the studio with her ex-boyfriend, Albee. Diddy told Essence in 2006, "I wasn't trying to holler at her or anything, but I was admiring her lips, her eyes, her mouth, her shape, her energy, and thinking, I wish I had a girl like that." And because anything Diddy wants, Diddy gets Kim. Nihal ended up as a receptionist at Uptown Records, and in 1994, he finally made his move. The couple reportedly became inseparable, and at the time, their relationship was sort of iconic. I'm talking about from a strip club to playing poker. She would be there, Diddy said, remembering that early days of their relationship. They supposedly loved each other so much that he even adopted Kim's son, Quincy Jones, who she shared with the Albee Shore, and they became a small family when the young boy was 3 years old then. In 1998, Kim and Diddy welcomed a baby boy of their own, Christian Combs. They were the perfect blended hip-hop family, well, at least until 1999. In 1999, Diddy started seeing pop sensation Jennifer Lopez, and they dated for about 2 years according to insiders. Diddy and Kim and their kids were still living together when Jlo joined the party, and in the court papers filed for child support in 2001, Kim also admitted that she and the bad boy producer were still in an intimate relationship, although she later changed her tune, claiming there was no overlap. According to the New York Post, Kim and Diddy later reconciled after his split from Jlo, and they were on again and off again for a while, before ending their 133-year relationship permanently in 2007 now. During one of those off-again breaks, some drama happened. And yes, it was bigger than Diddy and Jlo being a couple. While most of the reports about that incident have been scrubbed from the internet side, to no one in particular, there is one summarized version of an article published in 2005 that is available on Lipstick Alley, and it references the altercation. Diddy's girlfriend, Kim Porter, was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Combs' yacht in Strope. The argument is rumored to have taken place in the early hours of the morning after a party. The Sun have quoted a source as saying of the argument by 2 a.m. They were arguing loudly. This went on for several hours. Then at 7:00 a.m. there was screaming. Combs flew, and a specialist plastic surgeon from Geneva. After the accident, Porter has since claimed that she hurt her face after she banged her nose on a table. Now this has some eerie similarity to Cassie also sustaining injuries while on a trip with Diddy back in 2014, but it gets even more disturbing from here. The argument had reportedly been about Kim's relationship with Dayjam exec Shaky Stewart back in 2005 in a now delete post from 2010 media outlet Media Takeout explained how the relationship between Kim and Diddy worked while she was alive for years. Diddy has basically been keeping Kim as a kept woman. He pays all her bills and gives her extra child support. In return, he expects her to look the other way with his jump-offs and not be romantically involved. With any other man, apparently Kim Porter had agreed to the arrangement, but she slipped up a few times, and one of those was with one of the record executives at Def Jam, the late Shakir Stewart, a well-ding to the official
Laced
ruling.
insider
He took his
explained
own
that Kim
life.
was seeing Shakir.
However, it didn't take
Diddy
long
found
before
out, and
rumors
he went
started
ape.
circulating.
He
There was
tracked
foul
Shakir
play
down to his
involved.
hotel.
Remember that
Then
Diddy
Diddy
had
went
beaten
up
up
there
Shakir
without
in the
security
past,
and beat
and we
him to a
all
bloody
know
pulp.
that he's
Don't
not
let
one
the
to back
shiny
down
suits
from a beat.
and curls
So it
fool you.
wasn't
Speaking of
far-fetched
security,
that people
one of the
began
most
to
vocal people that blame Diddy
have
for
spoken
Shakir's
up about
death,
Diddy's
quoting a post
conspiracies
about Kim's
and
injuries
scandals as his
post-yacht
former
trip.
bodyguard.
A fan
Beyond
alleged that
Delio.
Diddy was also
I heard that he
responsible
beat her
for
so
Shakir's
bad,
death.
he sent her
The
to Hawaii.
Shakir Stewart guy
That's Kim's
also
story.
turned up
That's
dead by a
Kim's book.
self-eye.
That's Kim
Book then.
inflicted gunshot wound someone else wrote Diddy ain't like him fucking with Kim Porter, showed up at some music mogul wedding and snuffed him.